Jake, I got a question for you.
Hit me with it.
There's a lot of buzz about AI.
Oh, here we go.
Here's my question for you. Do you think AI is going to take over filmmaking? Let's say specifically let's say specifically live filmmaking, because there's difference. There's people who film products and products.
Yeah.
But live filmmaking.
Yeah.
Do you think AI can take over it?
I think it could. I don't think it should. I don't think it will.
Wait, so you think it could?
I think it could.
Okay.
I mean, it has the power to, right? Did you also know, like with car commercials, they rarely film the actual car. It's like only the frame with like PVC pipe and markers, and then they 3D render the car, and then they just paste it onto that. So they're doing all these cool camera movements. They can't get the car on site, or it's not launched yet. They don't want it to leak. So it's just a motor with the actor and markers, and there's a 3D scanning, and they just put that on the car for most car commercials.
I didn't know that, actually.
That's not really AI. That's more just powerful CG. But I'm like, I think the argument, and not to get political.
Of course. He says that every episode.
But I love when two sides talk. I do. I think let's get political.
Again, this always turns political.
Who'd
you vote for?
I love when two sides talk. I think what the media is trying to make us do now is to divide. And whether they are trying to or not, what's happening now with social media is we're being divided, right? Mm-hmm. We are being told by our phones and our algorithms that are feeding us our own beliefs over and over again that we're right. And so when someone's different than us, because our world on TikTok and Instagram tells us we're right, mm-hmm. we think they're crazy or stupid mm-hmm. or ignorant or racist or any of the above. And because of that, people don't want to talk as often. This is all coming full circle, I promise.
Yeah, it always does.
And so I love when two people from opposite sides of an argument sit down for a conversation.
Me too.
I think it's so healthy. I think it's the best thing we could ever do. It's how our country was founded. Love it. All to say, I don't love either guy I'm about to talk about here. I'm not like a massive fan.
Okay.
But I was very intrigued that they sat down for a conversation. It was Joe Rogan and Bernie Sanders.
Nice.
I thought that'd be a very interesting conversation. They sat down for a conversation and they talked about this. And I loved Bernie's take and I loved Rogan's take on this subject, to answer your question. Could it take over? Yes. Should it? No. And how do we do that? Mm-hmm. And the take was like, Rogan's question was, you have to answer this question. If I'm a client or a videographer and I can use AI to bring the cost of my service way down while improving quality, why wouldn't I? Mm-hmm. Right? And I think their argument was like with cars, like if I can use AI to make cars for way cheaper mm-hmm. and way more efficiently and spend way less money and resources, which inevitably hurt the ecosystem, whatever, to make a car by using AI, why wouldn't I do that? It's smart. You have to be able to answer that question. And that was kind of the debate they had for like 2 hours. Hmm. And the conclusion was from Bernie, which I was like, yeah, it's actually a good idea, was we've done it before with writing, with other jobs. Like we just got to make sure that we have things in place where we use the AI to accelerate the human's ability to work.
Right, become more productive with AI. Yeah. That
way, it's like wearing kind of like an exoskeleton in the movies, where it enhances your performance, doesn't replace it. Have you seen those ads on the freeway? Joe, we're gonna talk about it too, but like don't hire humans or something.
I have seen those, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like for AI software chat box companies.
Yep.
And that's pretty wild
it is.
to be advertising. Mm-hmm. And so I think if we want to not be replaced, we got to figure out ways that we can make regulations or something so that you're using AI to further your abilities, not replace mm-hmm. your abilities.
Yeah.
So it was a big, long-winded circle.
To say no, you don't think?
I think it could, but I don't think it should.
I think it's funny because you can ask anybody in any field if they think AI is going to take over, and they'll say no, and they'll give you a whole reasons. If you're like a surgeon, there's the argument, well, robots don't have the emotional capacity to be able to decide between one situation of life and death and the other. Robots can't do that. A surgeon, that's why you have to have the human touch. But someone outside of the surgery field can be like, well, yeah, robots. Have you seen the video of the guy using the little robot arms to perfectly fold the little piece of paper? Robots don't have shaky hands. Robots don't need to sleep. Robots can always. So being outside of a field, it's easier to say AI is going to take over. So us being live event filmmakers, me personally, I don't even know if it could. I don't think it will take over live event. Now, I think there are aspects of it that it can take over.
I was thinking about like the editing mainly.
See, yeah. So that's when AI gets introduced, which it already is being introduced. I'd say the first to go would be like colorists.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's relatively easy compared to all the other AI tasks.
Anything with like coding.
Right.
Coloring, you just coding at the end of the day.
You just feed it a large data set of images and colors, color spaces, and then eventually it's going to learn, and you just give it your footage and say,
your shot, and say, oh, it's overexposed, I got to fix this part. Yeah.
And as long as you shot it well, it'll be able to color it perfectly. Mm-hmm. So I could see that being like the first introduction of AI, and then probably like editing after.
Absolutely.
Because it'll learn. But after that, it's hard for me to envision a world where you're at a luxury, like a live event. Right. I think that's where it's kind of a safe space, because
a human event.
If I'm a client, I don't want robots walking around, filming. Like there's just something about it. And it's hard to program a robot to know how to use the camera, the angles and the moments. And there's a lot of things that would be really hard. Product videography, I do think, would also be the first to go, because
it already is. Yeah.
Companies can upload a 3D render of their new soda can, and it makes a commercial.
Here's the rendering, make an ad.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, live event filmmaking,
I agree.
If a bride and a groom get a robot to do something, no matter how much it spruces it up, they know it wouldn't be like a real product. I don't know.
Yeah. But what about like the jobs people don't even want, like cashiers, right? So like we first introduced self-checkout. That killed off a lot of jobs.
Right.
And I don't know if there's like a whole revolt about that. I wasn't really aware of it, but killed off a lot of jobs, right? It's much more efficient. You don't have to pay for employees, health benefits, worry about them coming out and being sick. Like it's just easier as a business owner to be like, yeah, it's a problem solved. Mm-hmm. And then now we had this place in Europe and New York where you scan something as you walk in,
which is cool.
You fill your basket and it charges you the second you walk out. Yeah. So you don't even have to interact with anybody or a screen or anything. It just charges you what's in your bag. And at Zara, the recent in Phoenix, their checkout system is you walk in with your gear, your clothes that you want to buy. You dump it in this basket, and those little magnet tags on all the clothes, when you drop it in, as it's dropping, it scans and it knows what clothes you're buying.
That's cool.
And so you walk in, put it in a basket, and then you take the magnets off and walk out, and you pay for it. So I think we're already kind of seeing this evolution, but I don't think all those things are jobs that humans didn't want, and so they found solutions to. Mm-hmm. Versus, I think like live event filmmaking or things that require human interaction or there's a very human emotional element to things can't be replaced. But I'm also like, why can't, and to Bernie and Joe's argument, they said, well, why can't we just make us more efficient to allow a society where we work less? If the whole thing is that we can be more efficient using AI, then let's do away with the 9-to-5, 5-day work week, right? If we can really accelerate how much work we're doing, or AI can handle our emails or the back end accounting things or whatever it may be, then I should have the liberty to work Monday through Thursday,
right?
8 hours a day, and then have a weekend to, spend time putting that money I made into society around me, tourism, other things.
You did more work in less time.
Yeah. And so that's what I would like to see the conversation go towards, is like, how can we use AI to make us more efficient, maybe bring costs down for certain things, but not replace humans.
Yeah.
But I think jobs that people don't want to do will always be replaced by AI because we basically gave it the green light.
Yeah. I think that's a That's a great point. I think the overall just like subject is whether it's a robot coming for your job or another vendor. In this space of live event filmmaking, your job's always up for grabs. You could work with a planner, do great work. But if someone comes along the next month, does better work than you, is a better pleasure to work with, they dress nicer, they're just cooler, your job's got taken. Doesn't matter if it's by a robot, it was by somebody else. So I guess the whole argument is like, how can you just become irreplaceable in the live event filmmaking space?
Great question.
So I've come up with a little bullet points, just as quick as I possibly could. Tell me if you agree or if you would add to anything. Number 1 is your work ethic. 2, people skills. 3, dressing nice. 4, speedy deliveries. And 5, going back to that human interaction element, is just humor and charisma. What do you think of that list?
I like them again. Let's take them point by point.
Okay. Let's talk about in the live, again, the whole scope is just live event filmmaking. Work ethic. Okay, this is something we're learning over the past couple weeks, especially working with some crazy vendors that are just go, crazy in the best possible way. I think that's what's really going to make you stand apart from the crowd.
Right.
When somebody sees you just working your butt off all day and keeping a smile on your face and being, just an upbeat, happy person. I think that's going to separate you from another vendor, another person who comes in who just does the bare minimum, who just does what they're told, leaves when their contract says they're going to leave, even though there's something big happening in 5 minutes. I think that's what's going to set somebody apart.
I agree. Yeah, I think your approach to anything will always put you above people. I was trying to think of like a specific example, but I don't think I will.
I think a good example is something you talked about on last episode was showing up like a day before for the venue site.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, the craziest work ethic, but it's just going the extra mile to show the vendors you're working with that I'm here to work.
Right.
I travel all this way, but I'm here to work.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a great example. Absolutely. What's the next one?
Next one is people skills.
That's a big one. And sadly, I think it comes a lot more naturally to others.
It does.
To some than others.
Doesn't mean you can't work on it.
No, absolutely not. I think people skills, I think charisma and the last bullet point, humor. I think those might be kind of things you're born with, kind of those like personality traits. But I think the ability to connect with people and to listen and to have conversations and to be amicable and to be friendly and to have, and to listen, I think all those are like muscles you can train. Yeah. Like I really do. Doesn't matter how shy you are, introverted or extroverted, you got to tone it back. Whatever it is, I think those are things you can definitely work on. I don't know where you'd go to work on those things. I'm sure there's coaches, but I think it's also just like a reps thing.
It is.
You intentionally go to these events, these cocktail hours or these networking events, and you kind of give yourself some goals and say, I'm gonna shake this many hands, or I'm gonna listen to this person and learn as much as I can about them, or I'm gonna not talk about myself for an hour, type of thing. So, but I think when you can walk into a room and have the soft skills for people to like, wow, I really feel like he listened to me.
Yeah.
That's how you get invited back.
Yeah.
And that's what makes you irreplaceable.
Yeah.
And if they feel like, if they feel like, wow, Jake and Nate, they listened versus this person who maybe is better, but they really kind of come in with some alpha energy and don't really want to collaborate, they're always going to go with the guys who they trust more.
Yeah. And going back to what you were saying about like, when would you practice these things?
Yeah.
I think, start small. You can start with the cashier. Like when you go out to buy your groceries, just be the first person to ask them how they're doing, if they have plans for the day. I think it was Papa Kirk.
I was just thinking of Papa Kirk.
What was it? The Ford thing? Ask about family, occupation.
Oh, yeah.
Relaxate. What was the R?
Don't remember.
And D was dreams.
Yeah.
And so, hey, like when you're in a conversation with someone, ask about their family, occupation, what they do for, I can't remember the R. Relax, I don't know. Recreation. That's what it was. Recreation, what they do for fun. And then their dreams. Yeah. Simple little blueprint to help you in a conversation, develop people skills. Because that's something this generation is starting to, and especially the next generation, we're just losing those people skills because we text all the time and we're in a million group chats. And so you get into the real life, real world. It's sometimes this disconnect of a good conversation. So just practicing, getting those reps in whenever you can.
And eye contact.
Eye contact,
that's a lost skill.
It is
I think it's one of those things that we're just so used to, like, looking at our phones all day. Just like staring into someone's eyes for a long time at like these events you don't know. You're just like, and if they're not looking back at you, but there's nothing worse than like trying to look at someone. They're just like, yeah.
When they ask you a question, they just start like looking around. What would you guys do? And then you're like explaining. They're just kind of like looking around.
But I think in that order, family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. I think family is such an easy, because everyone hopefully loves their family.
Yeah.
We were at Kinetic and there was a sales rep there for a hotel, and we started talking. It was just kind of, small talk. But the second we started talking about our families, we found we both had babies around the same age or similar. We just became best friends. They just instantly started connecting on things. Oh my gosh, how sleep training, all those different things. And I think people just light up when you talk about their family, and you see their phones, their screensaver usually, and tell me about your family. People just want to vent about that. They just love it. And I think what my dad said too is people love feeling like you're interested more than they might even like talking about themselves. If you just are like, wow, like Nate's asking about me, that feels so much better than trying to be interested in someone, because you're just like, wow, they actually are curious, and it's not just like a generic small talk question. It's like, wow, you're asking about my family. And I think that's what my dad says. The fourth thing, those four things aren't like small talk topics. They're kind of like, let's talk. Like if we're gonna talk, let's freaking talk.
Yeah. And in this live event, wedding space, something that we've realized recently is most people have a talking piece. Whether it's something they're wearing or I don't know, the gear they're using. There's always something to talk about. Hey, I love your Gucci belt or whatever. Just something to talk about. And so I think people skills, really important, makes you irreplaceable. I mean, there's people here in Utah, 3 dudes in particular, who we love them. Like they're great guys. They are irreplaceable in Utah because the planners love them, love them to death. They've been working with them for 15 years, and they're just great people. Okay. Next bullet point, dressing nice to help make you irreplaceable.
Yeah. I mean, we just literally are testaments to that these last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think it was an icebreaker. It made them look, I think about from a marketing perspective, when you're making an ad, the whole point, we call them scroll stoppers. The whole point is if someone's scrolling, and people nowadays have a 0.3 second attention span on their phone. If it's not engaging, they keep scrolling. So then the marketing job becomes, how can we make them stop scrolling in 0.3 seconds? And once you stop scrolling, you win. You have our attention, and now you're listening. And at these weddings, the scroll stopper is how we're dressed. We walk in, they've seen videographers before, the planners, the bridesmaids, whoever it is, they've seen before, not impressed. We walk in, and they do a double take, like, wow, you guys are dressed so nice. And so one of the bridesmaids in Telluride said, like, no, we've been to a lot of weddings. I've never seen the videographers match the bridal party. We were like, yeah, just a little taste of what you get for Florida vows. But that was a scroll stopper. And then all of a sudden they're looking and they're paying attention, they're noticing, and then they know what we're all about. It's like they're not just here to videotape, they're here to make a film.
Well, something we actually forgot to talk about in last episode. Do you remember the guest at the Telluride wedding during cocktail hour who came up and talked to us?
Yes.
Asked us who we were? Do you remember who I'm talking about?
No.
New York City?
Oh, yeah.
So
and they told us that they worked with Larev and they had...
Yeah, that was crazy.
I was texting Larev, I was like, man, what are your clients?
Like, I don't think so.
Never worked with them.
But yeah, just one guest.
Yeah.
We'll call her a high-profile guest. Yeah. I think it was just because the way we were working, the way we were dressed, she knew like we meant business, and she came up and talked to us. Yeah. Again, talked to us about the same things and said, by the way, have you worked with this person? And it was just a really luxury vendor. And she automatically put us in that group without knowing anything else about us. Just appearance.
It also opened the door because then I DM'd that client's photographer and said, hey, we just met a very happy client of yours who's still raving about you 7 years later. Like they're still talking about how much they loved you.
And then all of a sudden you're on that photographer.
Yeah, and we had never met the photographer before, but it was an opportunity for me to DM them and say, hey, like pretty cool that we met a client of yours and she still is raving about you. And yeah, now we're in talks with that photographer.
And it's not, we're not selling. You weren't selling. It's just a door that opens and you get to talk and introduce yourself in a out of the box way other than, hey, we're Jake and Nate from Runaway Vows.
No, your network's your net worth, you guys. So any chance you can get to like expand it, take it. It's an opportunity.
Okay.
Dress well.
Dress well. Okay, another one.
What are you wearing tomorrow?
I need to pick up my dry cleaning.
For the
I'm probably just going to go black suit.
no tie. It's cocktail.
All day.
So I'm down to do matching black suits, no tie.
Are they doing... They're probably doing like colorful. I'm guessing
It's summer.
San Diego, summer. I'm guessing
Summer cocktail.
it's going to be probably vibrant colors then. I'm thinking lots of pinks and yellows.
Who knows?
I might
Black is easy just to...
I might just wear something I wore to the rehearsal dinner in St. Regis. I might just wear my cream colored pants,
cream.
brown loafers, white. No, cream pants with white shirt. I might just wear what I wore to the rehearsal dinner.
With a suit coat?
Are you gonna wear a suit coat?
We should.
Yeah, I'll throw on the cream. Yeah. I'll probably wear my cream color suit with kind of like that greenish plaid shirt under it with brown loafers.
Okay. We'll dress well.
Okay, next bullet point, 4 out of 5 here, that'll help you become irreplaceable, speedy deliveries. And this one I'm really enthusiastic about
Yeah, I
because
die on this hill.
if there was something that AI would really beat a human in, is speedy deliveries. Yeah. Because there's an argument that, like an AI robot could never, take the human element and snap a picture of that moment. It would never know. But the argument to that is it's a robot. It can take much more pictures and be taking pictures all day. So it just never even misses a moment. Never has to.
Think about corporate events that are all on stage. You put those AI cameras in the corners.
Yeah.
That know when to zoom in and follow a subject.
Yeah. I mean, think about all the times you've been sitting with a photographer and all of a sudden you guys are just having a good conversation and someone just breaks and sprints to go capture something. Robot wouldn't have to do that. It's always on what's the...
I think AI, the first problem they had to fix was instant gratification for people.
It's
instant knowledge. Yeah.
It's ready and it's just snapping a picture every second. So it doesn't even have to have the human element of knowing when to capture them because it captures every moment. And since it can just process all those photos and videos, it'd be speedy to deliver anything. Yeah. So I think take the robot element out of it. Being able to be irreplaceable is being able to be speedy. Next day deliveries, same day deliveries. Mm-hmm. Make your turnaround times a little shorter, at least shorter than the vendor next door.
Yeah.
I think that's a big one for us.
Yeah, I think we try to give them something to hold, like kind of something to munch on while they wait for the full film, And for us, it's trailers, teasers, and ceremony edits. Mm-hmm. Just so they don't feel like they're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and then finally get their film and everything. It's like, well, here's something to hold you over.
Hold you over. It's the appetizer.
Yeah.
It's the appetizer. Last one, humor, charisma, or just being authentic.
You either get it or you don't.
You got it or you don't.
Yeah, I think authenticity will always beat the other two. Always. I think I think if people are just like, well, so-and-so, they're quiet or they're meek or they're or even that they're reserved or but like they're who they are, right? When you talk to them, they're who they are. Mm-hmm. That will always win someone who's like, you're trying way too hard to be humorous or be,
Yeah.
I think just be yourself, but don't let, it's just who I am. Like, I hate that.
Yeah.
Like, try to improve yourself.
Yeah.
But if you are quiet or unique, that's a strength to me. Use that, improve that strength, right? Or if you're loud and you're obnoxious, like in that, to use like a strength, I'd say you're great at breaking the ice and breaking barriers quickly. Use that, hone that in, right? Make that a strength, and then because it's authentic. Mm-hmm. But don't. I hate it when I always run late. It's just who I am.
It's part of who you are.
Like, no,
you can fix that.
Or I just like don't use it as an excuse to be worse than who you are. Use it to better yourself.
Yeah, I would say just learn to be a mirror right?
Yeah.
Learn to read the room, because if you're overly charismatic and loud and obnoxious, again, that can be a great thing, but it can also be a detriment. So learning how to read the room, know the vendors you're working with, and being able to mirror that is a huge strength. Likewise, if you're really quiet and you're working with people who are just more, up and at 'em, go get 'em sort of thing, knowing when to turn it on a little bit.
Yeah.
You can still be yourself,
Absolutely.
but learning how to mirror people's body language and read a room.
And always err on sensitivity too in this industry. Like, I hate humor that doesn't land. There's nothing worse.
That one hurts.
There's actually nothing worse.
There is nothing.
Than humor that doesn't land.
That hurts.
Like when someone's trying to be funny, you're just like, what? Or I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
We're trying to be, just kind of dad, abrasive humor. I just don't like it.
Yeah, there's a quote that always...
Definitely on men more than women.
There's 100%. There's a quote that's attributed to Abraham Lincoln, but I don't think he actually said it, but it's, I would rather a man think I'm an idiot than for me to open my mouth and for him to be confirmed of all his doubts.
Yeah.
So it's like, err on the side of just being calm, collected, mirror people, instead of trying to be overly charismatic and funny and being like the alpha.
I agree. Yeah. Be authentic, you guys.
Well, great. Do you think there's any other skill?
And don't be replaced.
Do you think there's any other skill that would make you irreplaceable?
Yes. I just ate a twin snake, so let me chew it through this microphone. I'll let you riff first. This is very chewy. Problem solving.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. Lots of stuff goes wrong during a live event. And not even goes wrong, but things are rushed.
You just have to adapt.
Yeah, you got to be adaptable. Anyone can give you a schedule, and anyone can follow a schedule. Well, not anybody can follow a schedule, sadly. But it takes a skill and it takes repetitions to be able to adapt and say, hey, that's not happening anymore. Let's change how we're approaching this.
And sadly, I think it's a skill that just requires reps. I think you have to go to enough events to realize how to adapt. Because I think sadly, you don't know the problem until it hits you in the face. And so like the first time I needed an audio splitter, how was I supposed to know I needed an audio splitter?
Yeah.
And so the opportunity came up and I didn't have one and I needed one.
You kind of stuck dead.
And that was the only solution. So, I had to do a different solution, which didn't turn out as good. No one noticed, but like there was a better way. And then what do we have now? An audio splitter, and we've used it like 5 times, but every time 5 times we needed it, it saved our lives.
That's 5 times.
So I think like you just one of those things that like sadly it's a reps game where the more you do it, the more you learn what could go wrong, or you hear from other people. That's why second shooting is great because you get those reps quicker and you see what happens at weddings. But I do think being a vendor who can problem solve without having to like tell the planner or the bride, like, hey, this is going wrong. What do you want to do to fix it? It's like, well, can you just problem solve it and not put that burden on me tonight? I have enough going on,
Yeah.
One of our friends is a good example of this. He always says he'll never remind the planner that the vendor meal isn't ready. He's like, it's just one of those. It's one of those things that any way I cannot be a burden on the planner and add one more thing to their very long stress list, I will do. And if the vendor meal's not there or late, I'm not going to say anything because I'll be fine.
Man,
I can fast for a few extra hours and I'll go eat pizza after the wedding. And I know some people complain about that, but that's the principle.
Yeah, that's. I don't get rallied up too much, but that's a topic that I do get rallied when someone's like, I didn't eat for 8 hours, man. It's like, you're fine, man. You're fine.
I saw a TikTok I was going to share. This is the girl completely throwing hands about how she could never film weddings again. She went to corporate because being on her feet all day, it was like she couldn't do it for 8 hours or 10 hours. And everyone in the comments like, yes, girl. Like, I'm just like, you're telling me you sit in your butt for 6 days of the week, and then on the 7th day, you have to be there for 8 hours, and you can't walk around.
That's crazy.
Maybe it's because you're wearing the wrong shoes, or your clogs, or
she probably loves the craft table as well. Yeah,
just like
get comfier shoes if that's the issue. And again, I guess that's the second topic I get a little rallied up about. We film in maybe the most uncomfortable shoes. My feet are dead by the end of the day, but it's just the cross you got to bear.
However, we switched to loafers recently.
Yeah, those are pretty slippers.
Absolute hack. Awful for fields.
But I mean, recently we've been wearing Tux shoes, and I've been just cutting up moleskin the day before, and I put on the back of my heel so it doesn't tear up the back of my feet. They're not comfy shoes, but they look good. They complete the fit.
It's more important.
But yeah, the whole idea of the vendor meals, man, it's just, unless you're diabetic or have something like that, you can go a while.
Also, if you're diabetic or gluten-free, fanny packs aren't that expensive, or a shoulder sling.
Josh Berman, he comes just wicked prepared.
Yeah, just have some snacks on you.
Yeah, we shot with him and we brought him on in
Josh
Seattle.
is a good example. I love guys who problem solve their own problems.
Yeah, we brought him along in Seattle, and Josh is diabetic, and he had just a bag of. He honestly, he took us aside very privately and said, "Hey, by the way, this has never happened, but in case something ever did, this is what you'd have to do." Like, I think it was like an insulin shot or something. But he's like, never happened before. I have everything taken care of. I have my bag of snacks. I know my routine. Like, great. That's a perfect example.
I love Josh.
But if you're not diabetic or have something, like, you can go without
nothing
a vendor
pisses
meal.
me off
You
more
can go without a vendor
when
meal.
we have dinner planned, and then Sam, when we've already decided, goes, "Oh, I'm gluten-free. There's something on the menu." It's like, well, then figure out where we're eating. Like, I'm not going to like tell this whole crowd of people to change plans because you don't know how to feed yourself. You've had this issue for long enough. You should know, okay, we're going there. I'm going to go across the street and grab this pizza and come over here and enjoy it in the park.
Yeah. Yeah.
Problem solved.
Now, recently, about 2 hours before the wedding, I just start chugging water, and it's made all the difference for the mid-afternoon crash.
Yeah.
When you don't chug water, you're not hydrated, you actually suffer. But yeah, we don't have to riff on too much about this.
I like working on an empty stomach. I don't know why. I don't like eating breakfast before a wedding. I like just kind of grinding it and then eating at night.
Yeah.
It feels really good for me. Not saying you have to do that.
That post Taco Bell session
Exactly.
hits. Or in and out hits.
Yeah.
Knowing you earned it. Yeah, I totally agree.
Great.
Let's bring back a past question for you.
Did you start The Bear season 4?
No. Is it good?
No, I haven't started.
Dang.
Tanner loved it though.
Really?
So there's an episode that people are saying is like fishes.
Episode 1, season 4?
It hasn't come out yet, but there's like an episode. Oh. The director's like, it's like fishes.
Really?
It's that good, yeah.
Okay, we like that. Okay. This is the pass, and this is the question. Is it unethical for a filmmaker to charge more for a project simply because the client has the budget for it? Let me give a little preface, okay? Let's say a friend reaches out to you, Jake, and says, "Hey, I need like a vertical ad filmed. There's like maybe 1 or 2 ads. It's going to be a 4-hour day, but our budget's $5,000." And you're like, "It's going to take me maybe..."
I would have done that for $1,500 type of thing. Yeah.
Right. Is it unethical for you to be like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll do it for $5,000," or is it better for you to be like, "Hey, by the way, this is really $3,500 tops for what you're asking"?
No, I don't think it's unethical at all. And I think people who think that are looking at it wrong. If someone comes up to me and says, "I have $5,000, here's what I need," I'm like, wow, that's... And my first thought is, oh, that's only $1,500. It's like, no, then you're missing the point of what he's asking you. He doesn't know what he wants. He's coming to you, the professional. Mm-hmm. And what he's saying is, I have a budget of this. Here's what I want. Yep. Your job then is to utilize that budget, big or small, if it was less than you could do it for or more, to bring his vision to life.
Yeah.
So if he came to me and said, "I have $500 to do that," and I'm like, "Oh, it's usually would cost me $1,500. Now my job is to mold what he wants into a $500 budget and remove things, make it easier, whatever it is, and explain that's what's with the money you're giving me. Here's what I can do." Same thing on the opposite. He's saying, "Here's $5,000. My job now is to say, here's the vision you gave me. Here's what I can do with $5,000." And I would just make it better.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it's unethical at all. I think you're just short-sighting yourself, if that's the right word, by saying, I could do it for less. It's like, well, that's not what he's asking you to do. He's asking you to take $5,000 and make this video.
Right.
So I'd bring in an assistant. I'd have better actors. I'd have better lighting. I'd have 3 versions of the edit for him to look at, maybe a professional colorist. I would put an extra 20% on my fee to manage that bigger crew and have to deal with them, take over communication. So I'd make it $5,000 worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
that's my take.
No, it's a great take. I agree. And I think that's also another something that can help make you irreplaceable, because let's say it's $5,000 budget for something, maybe $1,500.
Yeah.
It's the same thing in the wedding world. If you're trying to raise your prices from $5,000 to $8,000, you don't just wake up and say, I'm going to charge $8,000 for the exact same stuff.
Right.
The point is, here's the budget, fill in the gaps, fill it in with things that'll make it worth that value. Because
that's what they're willing to spend.
And that's what they're willing to spend. And I think that's what's going to separate you from other people, because one person is going to say, $5,000, no way. Great. I'm going to show up there, do the minimum bare effort,
would do that.
Exactly what they're asking for, no more.
Sam would do that. I love you, Sam. But you 1,000%.
I'm going to film this one reel for them. I just got a payday, you know? Whereas the other person B, would say, okay, they have a $5,000 budget. I can do that ad for them or whatever they're asking for, but then I can also bring in a photographer. I can offer them photo. I can go rent some extra gear and make it a $5,000 package.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what's going to make you irreplaceable from that client, to say, hey, same spend on our end, but we get way more with this person.
Yeah. You could take yourself a bigger payday and be a better, really hone in your filmmaking, spend more time on the edit, and still be a one-man crew. I just think, I don't want to bring ethics into it, but I think that's where it's a little slimy. I think if you're saying, I'm going to do what I was going to do anyway for $1,500, but just work harder, I think, no, you're not worth,
Yeah.
I think it's your opportunity to like really make it worth their budget and value their money that they're investing in it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we just had a client, a commercial client. They came at us with this budget, and it was about $6,000 to $9,000, they said, and they had this big project in mind. And unlike this example, they came at us not with just a vision, but with a very detailed idea, with characters, scripts, visuals. And so we had the story, we had the scope of the project, and so I put it on paper and said, here's what's going to cost, because what you're asking for very specifically, 3 days, that's 3 times of cruise day rates, actors, yada, 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 locations, cost money. And so because they had a very specific vision, I was able to show them it's double your budget for what you're asking for. And I can't do that vision with this budget that you're wanting to keep it at. So here's another vision. I said, here's that vision scaled back, kept the same kind of base, but scaled back to meet your budget. And that's what we went with. And they were happy. They loved it. Right. But I think that's where it's your job is to explain it to your clients.
Yeah.
If their vision exceeds their budget, then it's your job to not be like, no, but to help them understand that.
Yeah.
We got to wrap this up because my battery's dying.
Okay.
Don't be slimy.
Don't be slimy. Yeah.
And you're right. That makes you irreplaceable. If you can show them that, like, wow, maybe these guys are a little bit more. Yeah. But I didn't have to do anything.
Correct.
They did all of it for me. That's irreplaceable.
Yeah. And last note is here, we put a lot of emphasis on when a client comes in with a lower budget, we put in Facebook threads, what should I do? And that's where we like educate the client. Hey, we can scale back our deliverables and fit your budget for this. But we never talk about when the budget is inflated. True. It's like, great, nice, go kill it. We should educate our clients. We'll beef it up for you.
We should talk about that more. Yeah,
we will. But let's wrap this up before your battery dies. We'll see you guys next week.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.